Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Radiant Tale continuing Ginia's route. And I don't know how much longer we have. We've already done like 3 hours, and from what I understand, his route's like 2 to 3 hours. So, with my rambling, maybe this part, who knows? But anyway, dot dot dot. I wondered how much time had slipped away since I'd slumped onto a nearby bench. Had it been 5 minutes? 10? Might have been even longer. My mind was heavy. My thoughts were a murky mess. Even my grasp of time became warped. I hugged the meaningless package of cookies as I stared at the passers-by in a daze. Oh, what do I do with this now? They were wrapped up well, so they wouldn't go stale if they weren't eaten immediately. The rational part of me said I could give them to him later, but my heart said that it would lose all meaning if I didn't hand them to him right now. Clouds of gloom gathered in my chest. Then suddenly a shadow fell over me. Oh, Aleste to the rescue. What a sweetheart. My frickin' volume went back up. Without me knowing. Oh. Is that you, Spacey? Aleste stood before me. I got to my feet and nodded to him in greeting. Thank you for all your hard work, Aleste. You seem to be working hard as well. Ginia let me know. Ginia? Yes, your name comes up in nearly all of our conversations. He said that he's very grateful for his capable secretary. It's an honor. Oh, that's me. It's an honor to hear that. I was happy at the praise, of course, but I struggled to accept it in my current state of mind. I feel that. I shook my head and shoved all my dark thoughts away. That aside, you look exhausted, Aleste. Are you all right? I should have guessed that you'd notice. And to tell you the truth, I stayed up until dawn to write Prince Calivus' speech. Speech? Is it for the ceremony? Indeed. My passion took over and I was able to create a magnificent piece of art that's worthy of our noble prince. Alas! The prince himself told me that, though he is happy, he wants me to take a proper rest. Oh. If it's for his highness, 1 or 2 all-nighters isn't suffering at all. In fact, I would be ecstatic to do so. But unfortunately, it only causes him to worry. Some things just don't work out in life. It was a very familiar situation, and my heart protested with a pang. We should give him the cookies. Here, Aleste, take these cookies. They'll make you feel better. And he's like, did you make these for Ginia? And you're like, yeah, but don't tell him. And then Aleste's going to go to Ginia with a plate of cookies in hand. And he's going to be eating them. He's like, oh, so, like, anyway, did you get those paper? Oh, right, you already turned them in. Never mind. And Ginia's going to be like, what the hell are you doing? What are those? Just Spacey make them. Why do you have her cookies? Why is she giving her cookies to you? And then he's going to get jealous. And Aleste's going to be like, listen. All I'm saying, he's going to wingman us. And then it's going to make the fact that we can't marry you a little bit more difficult. Not really as difficult, because I love Ginia to fucking death. But goddamn it, do I love Aleste too. Okay? The next thing I knew, I had shoved my cookie bag into Aleste's hands while he cast his gaze down. Please, God, let this work out exactly like I just said. Please have these. Are these cookies? Yes, I actually stayed up last night, too, making these. What a coincidence. Looks like we're 2 of a kind. This is why we should get married and then really make Ginia jealous. I insisted he accept them, giving a small white lie that these were leftovers along with a small smile. Aleste voiced his thanks and promptly began to eat them. These are amazing. I have to admit I'm surprised. They're on the same level as cookies from luxury confectionaries. You must have invested a lot of care into them. There's no inconsistency in taste, and the texture is perfect. Okay, I'm serious. What kind of cookie connoisseur are you, sir? Because who the fuck has ever eaten a cookie and been like, yeah, this is good, and then eaten another one and been like, there's some inconsistencies in the taste? How? What kind of magic taste buds do you have? First of all, how are you not just shoveling handfuls of them in your mouth at a time? But, okay, so restraint, obviously, but, how Have you ever eaten a peanut butter cookie and been like, or a chocolate chip cookie or an Oreo, anything, and been like, inconsistencies in the flavor between these. They all taste the same. Not as each other, but I mean like peanut butter cookies. Oh, if you had 3 different brands, but I meant like if you made a batch of peanut butter cookies, they all generally taste the same. I mean, I guess technically if they're homemade, maybe not, because like you're like, oh, didn't mix the batter right there, got a lump of butter or something. You know what I mean? But like generally, cookies pretty much have a very consistent taste per batch. So like, cookie connoisseur over here. You know, I'm not complaining, but like, weird. Anyway, I'm glad you like them. If you ever want more, oh my. Oh, Ginny has snuck up. Oh, look at this CG. Oh, it's very similar to the one in his office, but he has a sultrier look on his face. We didn't even have to have Alest go and make Ginny jealous. He just came back and saw us give our cookies to Alest, and he got jealous. I smell something very tasty. Are there any for me? Nope. Huh? Was I imagining things, or did the voice in my ears sound a hint angry? Yeah, he looks a little angry. Like at sultry, angry eyes. I love it. You're still here, Spacey. I thought I told you to get some rest. Sorry, I was about to head back. That was an hour ago. Ginia, who'd appeared out of nowhere, gazed at me with narrowed eyes. There was something intense about it, and I stiffened. That was when Alest shrugged. Well, I'll be taking my cookies. And don't scold her too much, Ginia. Thanks to her, I learned there are cookies as delicious as these in the world. Shush, Ellie. She didn't get a wink of sleep last night. She was even staggering earlier, and I can't let that be as her superior. You know what? Just let me give my cookies to Alest, Ginia, okay? You don't want my cookies. I'm going to give my cookies to someone else. Yeah, obviously cookies are in, you know, come on. We were too close. I mean, seriously? He said he wasn't going to tease us, and look at his hands. His finger just gently caressing our bare shoulder. Come on. The scent of Ginia's perfume tickled my nose and made my head spin. His presence overwhelmed my senses, and my heart beat more erratically with every moment. I love the fact that in every single part we've got at least one CG, and I am so fucking thankful for this. I frantically shook my head to snap myself out of it before distancing myself from him. I also love the fact that, like, the CGs last, okay, for the most part, a normal length, like, there's like, oh my god, there's a CG, and then it kind of goes away after a couple of lines. That's pretty standard in games. And yet, what they did with the topless fucking CG, where we realized how much we wanted to jump on Ginia, if you hadn't already figured that out about yourself, okay, was just there for motherfucking ever. They were like, no, keep that one up. No, okay, change it. No, go, okay, but go back. No, but keep it up. Okay. And they just kept that one going. They did it on purpose. They're smart sons of bitches, and I applaud them for it, because every other CG, like, lasts a normal length of time. You're like, okay, and that one was like, it's the CG that keeps on giving. It never goes away, and I'm not complaining. You're like half of the part was on that CG, and it wasn't just because I was fawning over it. It was literally that many lines through it, which is amazing. Like, they knew what they were doing. Part best. See, okay. So what was it? The last part? I took a break for dinner, okay? And I can't believe after I recorded, I'm like, we were only 3 parts in. I thought we were already 4. I'm like, wow, I'm losing all track of time. But I didn't like the idea of like, I'm gonna try to win him over. But she really didn't do much. She's like, I'm just gonna work harder, prove that I'm useful, and then made him cookies, and then she kind of like, it didn't really go too far, so it's like, okay, I can handle it. But the concept of it of like, he's not interested in me, so I'm gonna make him love me. You know, if they had played it a little bit differently, like, he doesn't seem to be interested, you know, and then someone's like, yeah, but I mean, like, look at all, he was constantly flirting with you. Like, maybe he is, but he just doesn't realize it. Where you were like, you could just be like, okay, sure. He tried to shut it down, but maybe you or somebody else convinced you that, like, could be not interested, or maybe it's just because you work together, you know? So that you had some doubt instead of he's not interested, so let me force my hand and make him love me. Because that's respect the no, man, But if we thought the no was because we worked together or something, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like they could have come up with a better plot line than that. But to be fair, it's an Otome game, so like none of the fucking rules apply. If the man's an asshole, we're into it. All the red flags we're here for, and we would never do that in real life. So, he's like, I'm not interested. And we're like, I'll make you interested. Totally cool. Fine. And love interests do that to us all the time. So I don't know. Again, I don't know what it was. Something about the last part, certain things that people were saying. I'm like, why is this triggering reality me? Like, let's shut up me and stay in Fantasyland. So, but now we're back, and I'm like, yeah, let's make him jealous and make us love him. So I'm like, okay, maybe I was just hangry and I didn't realize it. Okay. I didn't feel hungry, but maybe I just needed food. And now that I've had food, I'm like, fuck yes, we will make him love me. I don't know. Anyway. Sorry, Ginny. I'll head back now and rest. I promise. Like, enjoy the cookies, Celeste, and then leave. And then Ginny is so mad. Please share the cookies as long as you're okay with plain ones like these. Okay, have a good evening. Scared of the response I might get, I rambled on to prevent him from speaking. Then I sprinted away as if I were running for my life. And now Virginia, oh. After Spacey left, the first to speak was Allie. And now then, I've already enjoyed plenty, so I suppose I shall give the rest to you. What nonsense are you spouting? She gave those to you, Allie. I can't eat them. I would be rather troubled if I were murdered by a jealous man. Stop wasting your breath. Eat. He held out the package in a no-nonsense manner. I scowled and look at I love the fact that they are having like a bitch battle right now. Just with their eyes. Because she's like, she gave them to you, so obviously I can't. And he's like, I'm not going to let you fucking bitch slap me because you're mad at me, because you're in love with her and she gave them to me. Don't start this shit with me. Like, the look in Alessa's eyes is like, just take the cookies and admit you love her, you ass. Without saying those words, but those are the words in his eyes. And in the end, I gave in to temptation and grabbed one. It's good. The taste was gentle, kind, and delicate. Just eating it made her face flash before my eyes. Allie was the one who'd been given these. And yet, for a moment, I had the strangest feeling that she'd made them for me. Didn't know why. I placed another cookie into my mouth in a daze, and though it was sweet, I tasted something bitter. Jealousy. Yeah, how about you learn a thing or two about makeup and polish your feminine charms? A few days had passed since I'd received this advice. Today I finished work quickly but efficiently before leaving the castle earlier than usual. I was on a mission to put his words into practice, and I took a shortcut to my destination. Here's the thing, though. Like, just because you don't know anything about makeup, like, you shouldn't have to, like, totally change your appearance or, learn how to do mega glam makeup to impress a man. Like, yeah, you might when you're going out on a special occasion, but, like, it's not a special occasion. Unless she's like, let me learn how to do some special glam makeup to make me look really beautiful so that, like, when the coronation ceremony's happening, I'm not just, like, me normal. I'm, like, mega glam me, and then it's like, oh, just, different. Like, I'm just going to show up in a different outfit. I'm going to change my hair, I get it. But, you know, like, she's not, like, the kind of girl who's, like, into a ton of makeup or anything. So, like, are you really going to change yourself just for him? Gonna see right through that. That's all I'm saying. Sephora's words are as scathing as always. Yeah, but that's why we love him. But at the same time, it's exceedingly rare for him to be wrong. I was aware of my own flaws. I was somewhat childish, and I didn't put much effort into my appearance. Yeah, but that makes life easier. Among the girls my age, some were experts whose makeup skills could transform them into different people entirely, but I'd avoided delving into the subject, using my waitressing job as an excuse. Perfume and too much makeup didn't complement food. Also, here's the thing, Ginny is skilled at makeup, so you can let your man do your makeup, and that's sexy as fuck. So be like, I don't have to do my makeup. I'm just gonna sit here and let you put my makeup on and make me look amazing. And like, it's like getting pampered. They're having fun because they're fabulous at doing makeup, and you trust them to do your makeup, and like you're getting pampered while they're like pampering you a little, and like, and I feel like it's a really beautiful bonding experience. I'm saying. So I'm just saying, sign me up for a man who's fabulous at doing makeup. I continued procrastinating even after becoming a secretary. My priorities had been hygiene and minimum effort. I'd only I'd only focused on my skin and shaping my eyebrows, nothing else. The more I think about it, the more I realize how little effort I've invested. And so, again, I also don't like that. I haven't invested any effort in putting on makeup. You don't have to. You live your authentic self, like your authentic life. If you're not interested in makeup and you don't want to put on makeup, you don't have to fucking put on makeup. And doing it just to impress them is kind of bullshit. You know what I mean? If you're interested in makeup and clothes and stuff like that, but you've just never bothered because of whatever, then yeah, getting interested in your hobby and practicing will make you feel better. But putting on makeup isn't going to make you feel better if you don't like makeup. You know what I mean? That's not going to fix your problems. So, like, why are they putting some things in here that make you question? You're like, you know what? I don't know here. Hello there. Welcome to Cheers. Wait. Why, if it isn't Spacey, it's rare for you to visit at this time of day. Bert, I'm gonna need you to simmer down. Hey, Leon. It's been a while. I just have some business here today. I marched into Cheers and was greeted by its owner, Leon. He blinked at me in surprise, and I voiced my question. Can you do my makeup for me? Just asking, but Cheers sells cosmetics too, right? But of course. What? That's the weirdest. Could you imagine, like, yeah, let me get a pint and also that new lip gloss? I mean, one stop shop, but like, I guess technically some grocery stores, my grocery store does have a bar in it. So I could get a glass of wine and lipstick in the drugstore section of the grocery store and Hot Pockets. But like, that's not fucking. You wouldn't normally walk into your local bar and pick up some, beauty products. I'm very confused here. What the fuck? Our slogan is wine, food, medicine. You'll find everything here. There's only one thing we don't sell. Oh? My passionate heart, of course. It's reserved exclusively for you. I quickly regretted saying anything. Aw, don't look at me with such frosty eyes. It's just a joke, an innocent joke. Look at his sad little pouty angry face. It's kind of cute. I think you're guilty as charged, but whatever. More importantly, I want your help. Could you give me a detailed rundown of trendy cosmetics? We're gonna get this from... I don't hate this. Huh? It can't be. Are you gonna dress up and look all pretty for me? I am so very sorry, ma'am. I shall attend to your request responsibly, ma'am. I glared at the apologizing Leon before heading over to the general goods section. It is really weird. I don't remember this from the first game, but it's really weird. I found the shelf of cosmetics off to one corner. I swallowed, trying to hype myself up. Also, again, I feel like there's other, cosmetic stores in the city, and you picked going to a bar. I don't know if I can hold my hand like this. He was running around on my knees, so my knees are sitting up, and I have my hand sitting, and he's just snuggled into my palm. He does this sometimes, and you could actually wrap your fingers around it. I could choke you the way you're sitting. He's just like, I want to snug. You could have stayed downstairs and snugged. You could have stayed downstairs and took a nappy. I know you're tired, but then you would have shrieked and screamed because you can't see me. So now you just want to sit up here. I don't know if I can hold my hand like this the whole time. I don't know what you want from me. And now you moved, because I moved. What's the matter? What's the matter? You didn't mean to be... Yeah? Yeah, I know. Okay, fine. All right, I won't pet you. I will put my hand here for you to pet yourself on my... Now he's rubbing his head against my fingers. Petting himself with my hands. This is so fucking funny. I found the shelf of cosmetics off in one corner. I swallowed, trying to hype myself up. I'll become a mature woman whom Ginia can't tear his eyes off of. I took this as serious as any of my other duties. And so the hours passed as I consulted Leon about the current trends while perusing the available selection, sorry. I mean, it's not like totally unwarranted to be like, okay, I want to get interested in something that somebody else is interested in, like whatever. It does feel a little weird, but like, I mean, I get it, but it also just feels, I don't know. After shopping, I returned to Lieber. The tavern was closed, so I monopolized a table that lined up the items in my haul. Like, I just don't feel like she did this in the main game with anybody else. It wasn't like, I'm gonna go become a dragon. You know what I mean? Or I'm gonna go learn how to juggle in order to impress Sephora. You know what I mean? Like, you might have learned things about them to try to help them out and whatever, but you weren't like, I'm going to go do this to impress them. I don't know, you know? So it kind of, hmm, I mean, it is what it is, but anyway. So, this is a result of your meticulous screening. Yeah, I do think I, might have bought a little too much. Disappointed that it wasn't food, Rady retreated to his room. Get back down here and do my makeup, Furball! You know he'd probably be good at it, I'm just saying. Because that'd be unexpected. Meanwhile, I focused on my collection. Primer, foundation, face powder, lip gloss, eyeliner, mascara. The list went on. And if you're not used to doing makeup and then you're going through the primer, foundation, powder, lip gloss, highlighter, like all that stuff, like, that's a fucking lot. And you're probably going to look like a clown. Sorry, Zephora. But you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be a lot. Like, you're not going to be, like, that's a lot to just start off doing, you know? Maybe just get a little bit of eyeshadow, mascara, maybe some eyeliner and some lip gloss without all the rest of it, you know? I don't know. Under Spiria's watchful eye, I looked through each and every one of my wares. Spiria was appalled at how much I'd purchased, but she smiled and gave me an encouraging pat on the shoulder. The quantity of items aside, your determination to learn about makeup is admirable. You think so? You've never been one to experiment with your style because you don't like to stand out. But you're a young woman now, and I always thought it'd be good for you to feel comfortable showcasing your natural beauty. I mean, this is nice and supportive, like, you know what, go experiment and stand out, girl, it's cool. Okay. I understand. I'm working at the castle, so I should at least know how to make myself presentable when I need to. That's the spirit. Failure is the mother of success, so I suggest you start off by testing things out on yourself. If you ever need advice, please ask. You'll find me in the back. Got it. What does this look like? You look like a clown. You look like a clown whore. After seeing Spiria off, I wasted no time and turned back to face the mirror on the table. I knew how to do the bare minimum to look professional while I was in the office. But outside of that, my skills were pitiful. Basically non-existent, and it's not like you can watch YouTube tutorials, jeez. Honestly, I had no clue what I was doing, so I did my best to recall random snippets I'd overheard from Spiria and the Lieber regulars. Okay, we start with the primer, I think. See, again, it's not like you bought all this, and at least in our day and age, if you wanted to buy all this and try, you have YouTube tutorials and makeup tutorials and things that you could watch. She's got nothing, so, like, it's a lot to jump into. It's been hot lately, and Leon mentioned the water-resistant ones are selling well, so... Having decided on my first step, I lifted the bottle. Disaster was likely waiting for me, but we were already closed, so no one was around to witness it, at least. Okay, don't hesitate. Go all in! Just as I brought the makeup brush to my face... Good evening! A very, very untimely voice rang out from the entrance as the door was flung open. I assume it's Ginia. Yeah. I'm so peeved. That meeting dragged on and on and on, and I ended up finishing work at this ungodly hour. The sign says closed, but are you guys still around? There's nothing to munch on at home, and... Uh-oh. We're like, fuck, I'm caught in the act. Oh my, my. He is so ecstatic for the... Okay, is he gonna do my makeup? Because I'm into that. Like, instead of me trying to do it to impress him, let him do my makeup. That's hot. By the time I thought, oh no, it was already too late. The moment Ginny spotted the spread of cosmetics, his eyes immediately lit up and he eagerly approached me. What a rare sight! You're experimenting with makeup. Why the sudden change of heart? Well, you're so cold. I'm sad. You should have told me. I would have supported you with everything I had. Seriously, the best cover is, I figured now is a good time to try to get used to it because I want to look presentable for the commencement ceremony, or the ceremony, whatever it is. You know what I mean? For Prince Calivis's ceremony, and so I just wanted to practice beforehand so I didn't look ridiculous on the day of. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get all dressed up and look good for the ceremony, you know? He's our friend, and so this was like a good a time as any to, you know? Smart. No, I kind of didn't really want your help, Ginia. What's with that? I may be a man, but you can tell just by looking that I'm a pro at makeup. He's so mad. But I like that, no, I didn't want your help. Oh, we're offending him. Oh my god. We didn't give him the cookies, now we tell him we don't want his help with makeup? You know, girl, that's all you had to do was be like, you know, I'm fine. I gave my cookies to this person, and I don't want your help, and like, whatever, and then, oh my god, he's gonna get so jealous and be like, stop it! I'm very aware, thank you. Completely oblivious to my internal screaming, Ginia excitedly grabbed one product after another and assessed them. Knowing you probably went in without a clue, and you thought you'd just try things at random, didn't you? But, pretty much, but... Jesus Christ, is it me? Music so loud, but if I turn it down and then it's like too quiet, like it always seems so loud to me. I don't know. I thought I'd follow the principles of practice makes perfect. No, that'll get you nowhere. Having a mental image of the final result is key. You need to base it off successful examples. Impulse and faces don't work together. You try to do a little bit of everything and it'll become a dissonant mess. Come over here. Let me show you something to aim for first. Like a child who'd found a set of paints, Ginia looked like he was having the time of his life. At this point, nothing I could say would stop him. I do love this, though, that he is, like, all into the makeup. He's going to teach us, and God, please do my makeup for me. Alright, first start with the primer. It won't show up in the final result, but underestimating it is a no-no. If you use a base that doesn't last, your makeup will get all wrinkly and glossy. It'll fall apart in less than half a day. In seconds, I ended up obediently sitting in a chair as Ginia fussed over my skin. It didn't make any sense. How did things come to this? I purchased makeup in bulk, wanting to become a pretty woman who could woo Ginia. I had full intentions of appearing before him in masterful makeup he'd never seen before and leave him in awe. Yeah, but you know what? Maybe this is, instead of like that, this is more endearing and gonna kind of like win him over a little more, like him doing your makeup for you and helping you, and like, you know, and just realizing that he really kind of enjoys this quality time that you're spending together. You know what I mean? Like, just to be fair, I would prefer a man that could do my makeup than one that was like, oh, hey, I'm going to send you to a professional to get your makeup done. And be like, sit down, let me do it. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, this isn't a really good analogy here, like, but like, I don't know. Like, Ginny is a man who enjoys doing makeup and doing all of that and something he enjoys, and then she comes with a full face of makeup and looks amazing, and like, yeah, he'd probably enjoy that, but I think he'd enjoy helping her and teaching her and doing her makeup more than just her showing up looking all glam. You know what I mean? Whether she did it or had a professional do it. You know what I mean? So, But now that very man was instructing me on how to craft my look. It seems like you've bought all kinds of products, but you mustn't slack on caring for your skin when using makeup, okay? The secret to true beauty isn't when you put on makeup, but what you do without it. It's nurtured when you let your skin rest. It actually sounds kind of profound. He was shaping my eyebrows with a brow pencil, and I couldn't help but giggle. He looked perplexed, and I shook my head slightly. I was just thinking about how you're much more of a makeup expert than me, even though I'm a girl. Oh, but everyone wants to make things that look even more gorgeous. Gender doesn't matter here, does it? What he likes, huh?
Okay, close your eyes for me, hun. I'm doing the area around your eyes now. I'll choose a matching color for your lips, too.
I obeyed his directions obediently. Darkness immediately surrounded me. The only thing in this pitch-black world was the feel of an eyeliner brush tracing my skin. I love this scenario so fucking much, though. I love being here. And, like, okay, so I don't love the I'm gonna get makeup and make myself pretty to make him fall in love with me. I mean, she's a 17-year-old girl, and, like, okay, fine. But, like, me being, like, crotchety about it aside, like, just be yourself. And, like, if you're not interested in makeup, you don't have to do makeup. If you're interested in makeup, and this is the way that it's going to push you to experiment, sure, fine. But, anyway, my gripes aside, her buying, like, I'm going to buy makeup and I'm going to try this out and see, and then him popping in and doing your makeup for, I'm here for this. If that was the whole point, like, oh, we're going to have her go buy makeup and then it's Ginny is going to do, like, obviously that was the whole point. Then I'm here for it. Okay. Just burn my complaints aside, because this scenario is amazing to me, and this is what I want. I want a man who looks gorgeous in eyeliner and can do my makeup for me. Fuck yeah, that's hot. And Ginny is soft breathing. My obscured vision heightened my other senses, and his presence became even more pronounced. Perhaps due to that, the feeling that his hands were gentle and careful, as if he were cherishing a treasure. Did you simmer down, bird?
All right, we're nearly done. Prepare to be pleasantly surprised, okay?
I nodded, my eyes still closed, and I felt my pulse quickening in anticipation. This turn of events isn't what I planned. But when he finishes putting makeup on me, he might praise me and say I'm cute. I couldn't calm the erratic beating of my heart, and I clasped my hands in front of my chest.
And done. Perfect.
As soon as his voice rang out,
okay, open your eyes.
My eyes slowly fluttered open. Bird, simmer down! Stop moving around or you're going downstairs. You're driving me crazy. Oh. The moment I looked into the mirror, my breath hitched. The reflection was supposed to be my face, but I couldn't help gasping in wonder. Amazing. I look completely different.
You have natural good looks, so I've left most of the base untouched. I only made your skin tone consistent, made your brows thinner, and emphasized your eyes. And basically, I sharpened your natural looks. And they might seem like tiny changes, but you give off a very different impression, right?
Ginny was right. As a whole, my face was still the same as always, but I suddenly seemed a bit more mature. Thanks, Ginia. Do you think I'm...
With your killer cuteness, I'm sure all the men will fall for you with a single glance.
The joy that swelled and threatened to burst withered within a moment later. It was as if he'd poured a bucket of ice water over me. They are really trying to hurt me here, because you're like having a moment, you're like, maybe, and then you just keep, like, we are going to fall in love with this man, right? I looked at the man who stood behind me in the mirror. He wore a big smile, likely out of satisfaction at seeing his results. Words rushed out of my mouth. Would you fall for me too? Oh my god, I would never have the balls to say this. Okay, but I feel like that should be the right answer then. Yeah, all the men. Like, I feel like she would balls out ask, would you? Yeah, yep, okay. Then, was it really okay for me to ask that? I didn't know, but my mouth moved with a mind of its own. Would you fall for me with one look too? The moment those words left my lips, Ginia froze. There was a pause before he finally spoke up in a somewhat flustered voice. Interesting.
I'm not quite sure about that. I'm very particular about beauty, you see.
Ouch. Ouch! Jesus! Ugh, burn me alive! Ginia had huffed slightly before replying. But I saw it in the mirror. Contrary to his merry voice, Ginia had averted his gaze, a pained expression on his face. I shut the mirror with a click before turning back to face him.
I knew it. Helping you with makeup is so much fun. But from the moment I asked you to change into your circus costume, I knew that dressing you up and making you cute was super rewarding. Feel free to summon me at any time.
I will. Thanks. I saw my faint reflection in the window, and though I wasn't the best judge, I thought I was pretty. Thought you were pretty before we had to put makeup on you, but whatever. Ginny also clearly commented that he thought I was cute, but it was just as clear that my looks hadn't made a mark on him at all. Feeling conflicted, I began putting away all my new things. Oh, more internal monologue. Will you just crack already?
When in the world had Spacey first fallen for me? And when had I first realized it, I wonder? I'd scouted her after a chance meeting, convinced she was the missing piece of circus. Before I knew it, she'd become one of my precious teammates with whom I traveled the world. She did every task earnestly. She smiled candidly when she was happy. She was cute and adorable whenever I laid eyes on her. And every time my fear grew. Having long forgotten feelings like love, I'd become a twisted, problematic man who could only poke fun at the love of others.
Seriously? We're gonna play into, we're gonna go, I'm damaged! Sir! We don't have time for that! I mean, fair, because we've had plenty of damaged characters who are like, oh, I can't fall in love, but, but usually that's a full game of trying to fix their broken. You know what I mean? And so I'm kind of then more disappointed that you tried to stuff that into this short little game instead of actually giving Ginny a fair round in the beginning, because yes, he's the perfect, I can fix him. But he deserved more, more time to needle him and fix him than just kind of I can't love anyone. I'm actually, never mind. We're oh, don't worry, I still love it, but I do think that you did him a disservice by not giving him a full route where we could have fixed him. You know what I mean?
I was scared. Scared that, by approaching me, her beautiful, innocent, pure love would be tainted and sullied.
Oh, and then we flash back to this CG game. You're trying to make me forget everything that I'm about. Don't get me wrong. 9 out of 10 still. And the only reason it's not okay, it's a 9.8 out of 10. The 0.2 deduction is I don't love that she's trying to change herself just to impress him, but I get it. She's doing things and is a little misguided. Sure. I mean, we all make mistakes and do crazy things sometimes, so sure. And the Ion being are you gonna take no for an answer? I should. You know what I mean? What the hell? We not. But they built the angst. They wanted to build the angst in, and I was okay, it's a little questionable around getting out of that, but okay. But sure.
And so, when I noticed her budding affection, I had full intentions of gently guiding her back to the right path. I'd tease her a bit and let her indulge in her dream. I'd let her have a taste of what the mature love of adults was like. And I'd teach her a little bit about bitterness so that she wouldn't be led astray by wicked adults before she met her true love. And that had been my plan, at least. And yet, she persevered harder than ever at work, and had stayed up to the point of forming dark circles beneath her eyes to bake me cookies.
You don't know that. Maybe I baked them for a less, bitch. Bully yourself much? He's not wrong, but just kidding.
She tried to seem more mature, learning the unfamiliar world of makeup and doing her best to look cute in front of me. Whenever I saw her lovable, charming side, an emotion that should have withered long ago welled up within me and raised its head.
If you're not going to give us a reason why he's decided to let love wither away in him, aside from I just have, and just because, you better give me something else than just because, though. Because then I'll just feel a little let down, you know what I mean?
I'd even felt the thorns of an ugly envy when Allie had received those cookies. But I've dragged things on a little too long. If I delayed the inevitable even further, it definitely wouldn't be good for her. Cutting things off now was much, much better than leading her around with a dim hope before rejecting her at the very end. Luckily, Spacey was surrounded by many men who were beautiful both inside and out, and they'd take good care of her. I was sure that she could overcome this bitter pain and seize a radiant, genuine love story. So I need to end this here.
Oof. But again, I want a little bit more. Also, because I feel like we're getting to the end or whatever, but this is very much the middle of a route. We're like, no, I need to push her away, and then, okay, we're continuing our journey. The way they've set up his little story is very much something that would have been perfect in the original game. Because, like, oh, you're in the middle of your journeys, you've fallen in love with him, blah, blah, blah. He's kind of pushing you away, and then, whatever. And you're like, fine, we'll just go back to working together and we have no choice. And then he realizes that he made a mistake. And that's the perfect, you see exactly how that would work out, but you're trying to kind of jam it into a couple of hours and make it satisfying. But I think what makes it unsatisfying is the fact that then I'm just more bitter that you didn't give him a full route in the first game, because this would have been perfect for a full route. Dragging on the angst and shit. Because now I'm like, how are you going to resolve this? He's like, I need to let it go. You need to stop. And it's like, so he's not even contemplating, and then are we done it? I mean, but I'm curious as to, I want more than I can't fall in love with you just because. No, I want a little bit more. Like, what's your actual story? That just because is like, And also then saying like, oh, there's a reason why you couldn't romance him in the first game. So far, there's no reason why you couldn't have romanced him in the first game. This would have been really great. So, I mean, maybe it's going to come out afterward. We're just slowly building. I don't know. But we're at chapter 4. We're getting, I feel like, close enough to the end of his route that it's like questioning. So, anyway. 2 weeks have passed since my vow to become a mature woman and make Ginny a swoon. Give up and quit. I let out a long sigh as I sorted documents in the office. I've worked hard at my job and in my private life, but nothing seems to be working. Determined to complete tasks before he requested, I displayed my worth as an effective subordinate at work. My womanly charms had also grown as a result of facing the mirror every day and putting on makeup. Probably. But no matter what I did, my feelings didn't seem to get through to him at all. At this point, even someone inexperienced like me could tell. Ginny isn't romantically interested in me. What should I do now? An ardent passion burned in my heart with no outlet. I pressed my palm in my chest. That was when the office's occupant returned. I'm back! Welcome back, Ginnia. Oh my, hard at work before I've even arrived. I'm very impressed. Yeah, there's a lot to do today, so I thought I'd start a little earlier than usual. I looked down at the document so my eyes wouldn't be drawn to Ginnia. Till only a few days ago, I'd stubbornly averted my gaze out of shyness, driven by the erratic beating of my heart. This was similar, but its nature was completely different. Looking at his face was suffocating, and I couldn't meet his eyes. Now then, let's keep up our good work today. There's less than a month until the ceremony. I have a feeling the ceremony's going to be the thing. It's going to be over the next course of them, but they're going to be like, over the next few weeks type of thing. They're going to jump it, as opposed to dragging it out, you know? It feels strange to be the one making such a statement. But maybe it's your influence. You think so? I was sure that he'd long realized my feelings for him. Yet Ginny acted as if nothing had changed, just like every other day. Even though he knew the nature of my affection, he didn't overtly turn me down. Instead, he allowed me to keep up the pretense that our easygoing relationship, filled with smiles and banter, was the same as always. His response was very, very kind, and so very, very cruel. And things will get even busier next week. Our influential guests will finally start gathering from every corner of Eshalita. What I find funny is the ceremony is in a month, and yet, why the fuck is Zephora here a month in advance? Don't you have a job, motherfucker? Like, I figured, like, oh, okay, that's coming up in the next week, and so everyone was here, but, like, just showed up over a month in advance?
He'll be one of the hosts, too, so be prepared, okay?
Got it, but am I really capable of entertaining important guests properly?
You're the woman for the job. Your makeup's been perfect lately, and you're just as cute and glamorous as a young noblewoman.
Ow, okay, I'm not gonna pet you, then. Don't make me pet you if you're gonna shriek and bite me that fucking hard. That hurt. You's a jerk. You's a bad boy. His praise was like a stab to the heart, and for a moment my mind went blank. So, think I'm cuter now?
Oui, but of course. Your great Ginia, premier fashionista of our theatre, can vouch for that. Show off your charms to all those esteemed guests. It'll be your debut in high society.
I hadn't intended to say the next sentence. It spilled out of my mouth of its own accord. I didn't work hard on my makeup to impress influential strangers. Oh, she's shoving it in his face. I'm gonna make you deal with it, Ginia. Ginia fell silent. The realization hit me a second too late. Those words had touched a sore spot for both of us. Once my feelings had found an outlet, however, I couldn't stop. I worked hard these past 2 weeks because I wanted you to look at me, Ginia. Whether it be makeup, which has never been my cup of tea, or work I'm unfamiliar with, I tried because I wanted you to acknowledge me.
Okay, that's enough, my dear.
Ginia's long index finger gently pressed against my lips, stopping me in my tracks. Don't touch my lips like that unless you're going to follow it up with a kiss, motherfucker. The movement was gentle but firm, as if he were determined to nip my next words in the bud.
If you say it out loud, our relationship will change. It might be for the better, it might be for the worse. I don't know which, but I do know one thing. This peaceful time together we relish will end.
My lips quivered with unspoken words. But Ginia shook his head, refusing to remove his index finger.
You know, it might not seem like it, but I really am fond of you. So fond, in fact, that I want our comfortable relationship to last as long as possible. So, come on now. Please don't tell me yet. Let's enjoy the present for a little longer.
Finger retreated slowly, and a chilly breeze brushed against my lips. Then, not even giving me a chance to respond, Ginia stood up to leave.
I suppose I'll head off to make some tea for a change of pace.
He didn't voice the cruel, unspoken words, "I'll forget about what just happened, okay?" The next moment, he'd vanished. All the strength went out of me. I slumped down and hung my head. Yes, there's no hope after all. Ginia was clearly giving me a warning. Don't force me to turn you down. Still turn a blind eye as long as you don't push further. That was his message. So unfair. My eyes grew hot and tears welled up, turning my vision into a blurry mess. I mean, I'm surprised it took her this long to cry, because that whole thing was going to make me cry. I had to stop crying before he came back. After all, Ginia's wish was for both of us to smile and act as if nothing had happened. Despite knowing that fact, my tears rebelled and choked sobs echoed inside the empty room. I continued for a while until...
Ginia, are you there?
We're coming in. After a knock on the door, 2 familiar faces appeared inside the office. Great, just in time to see me cry. Good times.
Huh? Is Ginia away?
Ginia headed out for a moment. Wiping my tears, I reported this to Aleste and the prince. But there was no way I could disguise my voice, which was shaky with sobs. I'm pretty sure wiping away your tears is also evident that you were crying.
Easy? Are you
Crying? She's like, I'm only 7. I don't know how to deal with this. No, I'm all right. I used my sleeve to wipe my face, but Prince Kalivis shook his head.
Don't seem all right at all. Does your tummy hurt? Something happened?
Yes, my tummy hurts and I'm sad about it. Perfect. I'm all right. Really. So, Aleste is going to punch Ginia in the face. Please don't worry about me. But the words wilted in my throat and I felt tears spilling again. I wasn't sad. I shouldn't be sad. Really? I think you are sad and you should be. Even if I couldn't progress to a more special relationship with Ginia, it was still kind enough to permit me to keep our current relationship. I could maintain the status quo, and yet, I stopped crying. There was a flutter of cloth. Something soft touched my cheek. I raised my head slightly and saw that Prince Calivis was gently offering me a handkerchief. Aww! For a moment, the young prince before me seemed much more mature than his petite frame suggested.
I don't know what happened, but you don't have to force yourself to lie.
Why?
You might claim you're fine and you may be able to deceive yourself, but tears you shed tell me you're not all right. Something's hurting your heart, is it not?
Sometimes it's just existing. But yeah, in this case, we're crying for a reason. Sometimes we cry just because it's Tuesday, but... Exactly what His Highness said. No matter what the circumstances are, you cannot come to terms with what happened, which is why you're crying, is it not? Their words pierced into my heart like knives. I bit my lip hard and my whole body trembled. Prince carefully wiped my tears once again.
I'm here today because you and your team bloomed Florida saved me. Easy, if you're ever anguished or in trouble and want a helping hand, you can always lean on me, okay?
This child is so adorable! Stop it! Our little baby prince is so sweet!
This time, my turn to help you find your smile again. He's so cute!
Thank you so much. I squeezed the words out in a choked voice. My painful, suffocating tears wouldn't stop, but I felt a faint fire rekindle somewhere in my heart. I'll head outside and get some fresh air. If you're looking for Ginia, I'm sure he'll return shortly. Please excuse me. Well, they're going to give him hell. I bowed politely to the pair before running off so they didn't have the chance to detain me. Not knowing how to stem the uncontrollable tears streaming down my cheeks, I scrambled to get outside. Are we going to flip to others? Oh, yeah, we're flipping to Ginia. Okay. LS needs to punch him.
I'm such a hopeless idiot. Tea set in hand, I let out a soft sigh outside my office. I'd vacated the room for roughly 15 minutes. I was back after making tea, but here I was, standing before the door in a daze, hesitating to open it. Since the first time I'd noticed Spacey's affection for me, I should have known that this day would eventually arrive. Spacey was a girl so cute and pure, she was dazzling. Such a girl really ought to mate her splendid destined partner and find a beautiful, happily ever after. For her to be drawn to a twisted, troublesome man like me wasn't funny, even as a joke. It wasn't right.
See, and I feel like if you were going to go this, oh, I'm twisted and troublesome, you could have delved into this so much deeper in the full game and given him like a really fucked up backstory where, like, you know what I mean? Like some of the other characters, but just saying I'm twisted and troublesome and I'm red flags. Okay, but I'm gonna need some reasons aside from you telling me you are. Tell me why. Okay, here's the thing. In reality, if someone's like, I'm a bunch of red flags. All right, I'm gonna trust that and I'm gonna back away. Because if you know you're red flags, you definitely red flags. Okay? But like in a game, I'm gonna need your reasonings, sir. Because I'm gonna guarantee you I can still fix you. You know?
And so, I had to end her erroneous crush on me right at that moment. No matter how painful or agonizing it was, it would be the best for Spacey in the end. That was what I'd told myself, but actually doing it was much harder. Okay, that's enough, my dear. But please don't tell me yet. Let's enjoy the present for a little longer. I can't believe myself. I was supposed to end it, but I ended up putting it off instead. Letting out a heavy sigh, I pushed open the door before me. I'm back, and with tea at that. But as calm as possible.
Well, be as calm as possible.
Act as normal as possible. That was the best thing I could do, or so I told myself. However,
it's one thing to have Aleste staring daggers at you, but to have Calivis staring daggers at you has got to be a slap in the face. You're back, Ginia.
for some reason, the occupants of the room were not whom I'd expected. Allie, Your Highness, what are you two doing here?
I mean, why are you two here? Sorry.
Relief flooded my heart. After all of these two were present, the awkward mood should clear somewhat. One sec. Where did Spacey go?
She left the office just a moment ago. You didn't bump into her in the corridor?
No.
Hmm.
Did she perhaps head out to submit some documents I'd left lying around? I put the tea set on the table, speaking in a jovial manner, and that was when a belated realization struck me. The pair staring me down didn't have the slightest hint of a smile in their eyes. What's wrong, you two? You look rather scary.
She went to cry, you asshole! Ugh! I really want Calibus to say something to him. I really want him to get reprimanded by the Tiny Prince.
I got it. It seems that someone has finally found out that I didn't make the deadline. She was crying. Easy was crying. She looked really upset.
Oh, Calibus. You should have berated him a little more, but maybe the poor kid doesn't know what's going on.
Oh my. Did something bad happen to her, I wonder? I spoke in a clipped, casual voice, trying to put an end to the discussion. But the prince glared at me as if his usual faint-hearted attitude had never even existed.
Baby Prince ain't seeing. Baby Prince sees through your bullshit, Ginia.
You're the one who made her cry, aren't you? Never seen her cry so heartbreakingly before. What in the world did you say?
Ginia getting reprimanded by Baby Prince is so cute.
Nothing really. I didn't say anything in particular. I found myself avoiding his eyes, but I sensed his sharp gaze piercing me. Feeling the force of his glare on me, I slowly shook my head. The reason might be that I didn't let her say anything, though. What does that mean? I botched a chance to snuff out her desire for someone. And that's all, Your Highness. The prince furrowed his eyebrows in confusion as he tried to decipher my words with no luck. On the other hand, Allie, who'd been standing by behind him, nodded slightly in realization.
Ginia, I distinctly remember warning you not to toy with her feelings. You may choose to respond to her feelings. You may choose to reject her. That's your decision to make, and I respect that. However, dragging out your answer is just too cruel to Spacey.
Yes, I know that.
No, you don't. You're only making excuses saying you're doing this for her sake, when it's actually for your own selfish reasons. You avoided giving her a clear answer and you're dragging things out. You knew this would torment her, but you didn't want to relinquish your hold on her. It's your self-serving ego that's talking.
Allie cut off my excuses and wedged a dagger into the chink in my armor.
To put it simply, she suits your needs and is convenient to you, so you wanted to leave her hanging nearby at your beck and call, right?
I saw red when I heard his mocking tone. Anger took over and I glared at him, but Aleste only gave me an unimpressed sidelong glance before he spoke calmly.
Your Highness, I have a proposal.
Huh? Yes?
I wish to hire Spacey as my secretary. Will you please give the official okay?
Excuse me? The meaning of his seemingly casual words didn't process at all. I could only ask one question, a pathetic expression on my face.
What are you? I hold her in high regard. This decision is beneficial for you as well. You have no intentions of growing more intimate and instead want to distance her, right? Yeah, okay. And this should be a timely offer.
Don't be an idiot. She's officially contracted as my secretary, okay? You can't just snatch her away from the sidelines while our contract's still
But do you really have an official contract? Both when she joined Circus and this time you took advantage of her kindness and pressured her into signing the contracts. Can you declare from the bottom of your heart that she truly signed on because she wanted to be with you?
The superficial excuse I made was mercilessly shattered. The prince even voiced his support. Yeah, Celeste is right. At this rate, neither Spacey or you will be happy. So as royalty, I hear your appeal, Aleste, and I shall... No, don't! The voice that came out didn't sound like mine at all.
It really didn't.
It held no decoration, no motives. My heart had spoken before my mind could interrupt. Oh, never let that happen.
Why not? At the very least, I can make her smile more than the likes of you. I love that we're having a fight over me! And I feel like Aleste is really just wingmanning us both and being like, I'll make her happier than you ever could, just to get Ginny to crack and fucking admit that he's in love with me too somewhere deep down inside. But he's a goddamn coward. God damn it! But also Aleste is probably like, but maybe if she's away from you, she might actually like me, because like maybe Aleste kind of has a thing for me too. Look, I'm hoping when we get down his path that that's what's gonna happen here, okay? But like, damn, I love this! I won't make her cry out of my own sadistic desires. If you understand, then get out of my way. Someone needs to chase after her. I know we're supposed to be in Ginny's route, but why are you being such fire, sir? Oh my god! Ah!
Alice placed a hand on my arm and made to push me aside as I was standing in front of the door. However, I mustered all the strength I had in defiance and planted my feet. Seeing my reaction, Aless let out a lengthy sigh before releasing my arm.
I've known you for a long time, but this is the first time I've seen you so enraged. What a rare sight. Someone who flits from place to place without a care in the world is expressing such strong, raw emotion for once. It's all thanks to a certain someone's taunting. That's part of the reason, of course. But more than anything, your feelings for her are nothing like what you've experienced before. You must have already realized that as well. You know nothing about me. I know you very well, actually. Although it's extremely regrettable to admit you and I are besties, to put it mildly, after all. It is really funny that Ginnia and Aleste would be like best friends. They were total fucking opposites, but yet, I love the dynamic.
My good friend, who deliberately played the role of the villain, suddenly teased me and took the wind right out of my sails.
I don't know if he was necessarily taking the part of the villain, but was also like, if you let me have her, I mean, I'd have no problem wooing her. I'm just saying. Listen, a girl can hope. And I'm sorry, it may have all just been to wingman us, but I was into it.
I cast my glaring eyes down and lowered my raised arm. Looks like I can't hide it anymore. I knew that accepting Aleste and the prince's proposal was my best option. The emotional words that blurted out of my mouth and the body that wouldn't obey were undeniable proof of my feelings for Spacey.
So he's just been a goddamn motherfucking chicken. I'm just afraid and I need to push her away because I'm not good. Like, you know, I'm not good enough for you. You deserve better. Okay, but why? That would have been such a... listen, that would have just been so beautiful and amazing to delve into in the main game. So you're not giving me any reasons why we couldn't have dated him in the main game. It would have been perfect.
The glaring evidence would no longer allow me to turn a blind eye to my own heart. But now that I've admitted it, isn't it a little too late? I can't believe myself. I aimed a derisive smile at myself, and at the same time, another emotion gushed forth. It was a restless anxiety at the fact that, even now, she might be crying somewhere out there, all alone. But what in the world could the culprit behind her tears do? What right did he have? Even if he ran up to her, all he might achieve was hurting her more. I fell silent and my thoughts rooted me to the spot, but the prince spurred me into action. Genia, go after Spacey. Are you ordering me as my superior? Oh, I'm not. No matter what my status is, whether I be a prince or your superior, no one can order around someone else's heart. So this is just a request. You two have made me smile. I want to see you both smile happily, too. A gentle smile bloomed on his face as he spoke his words, serene. It was hard to imagine him in his prior doll-like state. Well, if I spoke my personal feelings, then I'd say if you make Spacey cry again, it'll be off with your head.
What a splendid tyrant you'd be, my prince. I'm deeply moved. I may be unworthy, but I shall gladly take on the role of executioner.
All right, I'll ask you for your help if that time ever comes, Aleste. Oh, no, I'm so scared. I need to work hard so that I can keep my head on my shoulders. A small smile came to my lips before I glared daggers at my unfortunate bestie one last time. You won't get any thanks from me, you know.
Now that is wonderful news. If I ever hear a thank you from you, I think years would be taken off of my life.
Allie patted me on the shoulder before he continued.
In the end, you're the only one getting in your way. You're not burdened with the weight of the world. You're facing neither death nor illness, nor does a curse bind you. You're a man of freedom. Isn't that your policy? So go now, do as you truly wish to.
Thanks to the encouragement of my mother hen of a bestie, I sprinted off at full speed.
And I'm going to stop here. We'll probably wrap up his part. It might be short, but I don't know if it's going to be like a quick little wrap up or there's going to be a little after scene or we're going to do like a little, you know what I mean? Is it going to be like, oh my God, a little kiss, make, oh my God, we're happily in love and then it ends? Or are they going to do like a cute little after scene kind of thing? I don't know. I suppose if it's only like 5 minutes, I'll just edit it onto this and you'll hear me coming back and being like, okay. Editing me will pop in and be like, editing me, and we're putting it together because it was really short. But otherwise, if it's only about an hour and 6 minutes, then the other part was at least long enough to warrant a short part. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.